And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Mexa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with rock cod Rick Mexa in the Mighty 1090 studios with Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star, having a great time talking long-range fishing at its finest.
You're not kidding, man, and we're just having a great time doing it. We want you to be a part of the show. Lots of great questions going on, and we got so much information with Captain Tim Ekstrom here. If you want to join the show, join the fun, give us a call this morning. We would love to hear from you. 858-457-1090. That's our local line. 877-792-1090. That's the toll-free number if you want to get through. And not only are we talking all kinds of fun, talking all kinds of fishing, we've also got a great prize. One lucky caller at the end of the show today is going to win a brand new AFTCO Socorro belt and that AFTCO Max Force harness, thanks to our great friends up at AFTCO who make absolutely the finest when it comes to saltwater fishing hardware. There's nothing that those guys produce that isn't, when we had Greg Stotesbury in the show here, not tested, not done right, the right way, lots of time.
Real fishermen.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic ultimate long-range belt and harness setup for somebody at the end of the show today.
No question about it. You know who turned me on to that Socorro belt? It was on the Royal Star, and it was Bruce, who's just a fishing machine.
Posthumus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy is and I was using a little bigger belt when I'm not a big guy. And this belt is just the right size kind of for, if you're a real big guy, then you want to get the next level up.
Be the Clarion or now the new Vallarta belt.
Kind of a good intermediate size.
I think you guys nailed it as far as those products go. Those guys are fishermen.
Yeah.
And you can just see every product comes out of there. It was made by a fisherman. It's a guy who knows what he's doing, and he gets the application, and it's just so obvious, and those products are being used. I love them.
AFTCO doesn't
durable, man.
They don't put out a product that doesn't work.
No,
that's the thing. And they prototype a lot of products. Sometimes we see the prototypes that the public will never see because it just didn't meet that AFTCO standard. So if you see a product from AFTCO that's on the market, it met the standard.
How about this one? How about those flatline clips that they make for trolling on a skiff? We have a flatline clip, those two little D rings you tie your transom straps to that are a little ring on the back of your transom. We've got one of those AFTCO flatline clips, we troll for tuna with, that has lived on the back transom of the boat for, years. That boat gets fished, and you can imagine it's just pounded around. It lives in salt water for years, and it still works perfect. Like, what other product could even do that? The swivels wore out around it, and we had to recrimp a new swivel on after 2 years, and the clip still works perfectly. Like, how is that even a thing?
That's the AFTCO product.
Exactly.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
that's
cool
just
stuff.
That to me is just a huge selling point. I love it when stuff lasts.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. There's Marty Milner used to always say it. There's no substitute for quality.
There isn't.
That's the truth,
That's the bottom line.
That's
that's
right.
cool.
Indeed. Let's go ahead and jump into those jam-packed phones, Rick.
You got it, man. The phones are definitely packed up. How about this time we talk to Gus? Gus is calling us from Burbank this morning. What's up, Gus? Welcome to the show.
Long time no talk, Gus.
Yo, you guys.
What's up, Gus?
Good morning. Hey, first of all, it's a pleasure to talk to Captain Tim Ekstrom and you guys. And I wanted to tell him that I went on the Star this year, the pre-Labor Day week-long charter, and with Randy at the helm, had a great trip, just a wonderful time.
And did you catch some fish for the smoker?
Well, no, I didn't catch any fish. Of course I caught fish. Everybody catches fish on the Star.
Of course they do.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. But it's such a great experience, right, Gus?
There's nothing like it. I've tried other boats, and that one always seems to be, the creme de la creme. And the reason I'm calling is first I wanted to say congratulations on the Guadalupe turnaround, and I'd like to ask two things. If you are going to fish Guadalupe, we used to check in at Ensenada. Is that going to be part of the ticket? And also, when is the best time to try to get on a trip that might be stopping at Guadalupe?
The best time to try to get on a trip is certainly now. For the trips that are booking in 2016, stopping in Ensenada, checking in and out of Ensenada, our protocol for those trips has been even before when we had our limited access. I want to say it was in 2010, 11, 12. And it's no big deal. It's easy. It's quick. They're incredibly accommodating. I've actually got some good ideas, going forward about how we can even, perhaps extend that period that the boat stays in Ensenada, because that place has a lot to offer, as we saw.
Man.
I mean, I got a lot of ideas. But
little afternoon trip to the wine country.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm serious. Yeah, like go in there in the morning.
Awesome.
I'm
in.
Yeah.
Little street taco action.
Absolutely. There's a lot of ways that we can incorporate that into the trip, which is
because you have to clear customs in the U.S. when you come back anyway.
That's exactly right.
I
Yeah.
love that idea.
And there's some extra time there, so it's in the works. I've definitely got it. It's in the planning stages right now. But yeah, stopping in Ensenada is part of the program. It's easy. It's quick. In and out of there. And what else was he asking? Oh, the time. Yeah, you want to book now for sure. And I think
length of trip, I think, is maybe saying would target. If you're looking at the schedule, there's some 3 days, there's some 5 days, there's some 7 days. What length of trip would you plan on? Guadalupe being at least in the realm of possibility.
5 days and longer.
Okay.
5 days and longer for sure. And one of the reasons you see all those 7 days on our schedule planned ahead. It is for that.
Okay.
I think that's about the perfect length of time, and that gives you plenty of time where you go out there, you can experience the island, everything it has to offer, and if it's great, it's great. If it isn't, you can move on and target something somewhere else as well.
And the 7 days is going to give you the variety of not that obviously Guadalupe's a magical place, but it's also going to give you the variety of other stuff too. I'm sure.
Exactly.
Days fishing.
Yeah,
offshore,
run in, visit on the coast, something.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the access that we have out there is for three species only. It's for yellowfin tuna, it's for yellowtail, and it's for wahoo. So there's no other fishing that takes place there. We actually can't fish, inside up there next to the island. So it's real specific and spells it out very clearly. So if we want to do any fishing for anything else, we've got to head out off the island or head somewhere else.
Yeah. How blown away were you at those incredible wineries that we stopped at the Guadalupe Valley? And what's transitioned over there in the past 2 years?
I know we talked about it before, but the investment that's gone into that region, I'm telling you, I was just blown away. And
gorgeous wineries.
Yeah, the quality of the place.
Restaurants.
The everything from the wineries themselves and all the equipment and everything to the employees themselves and the owners or the wineries that came out, and they were just so gracious.
And the beauty of the valley.
Everything about it, I'm telling you.
And that's a half an hour from Ensenada.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's right there.
It's right there. And then
I love that idea. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the call, Gus. Appreciate that. Captain Jeff DuBois from the Independence is on the line. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Timmy. We checked in yesterday and, gave you the rundown on the buffer zone, how excellent it was down there. And I believe I mentioned we were up trying for wahoo up in 10-day range. And just a quick report here for you guys that are coming out. It's still going on down there, full speed. At least it was for us. We spent the majority of the day scouring, and finally in the afternoon we got located. And I got to tell you, it was as good as it gets on these 40 to 50-pound wahoo, a few bigger, a few smaller, of course. Full speed, aquarium style. And I would say in about 4.5 hours, we landed 80 of them. And they were biting right up until the dark there. Hitting the side of the boat, chasing jigs. It was, I tell you, it was really something. Beautiful grade down there.
Oh, that is such an awesome report, Jeff. What an experience, huh?
Yeah, it really was. We left the buffer zone with a couple wells of fish, and that was our main goal, to go up and check the lower banks, which we connected there, and then we really wanted some wahoo, and I guess we got an early Christmas present, but it was game on. So Still going on down there, guys. Beautiful conditions. You guys that are leaving on 10-day trips or longer, things are rolling right along. Looks good.
Oh, man, that's such great news, Jeff. And I know yesterday you mentioned that there was a couple of spots left on the Independence in January on a trip to take advantage of this amazing fishing and have a good winter trip. Are we still looking at a couple spots open?
Yeah, there's the trip in January has 3, but nonetheless, here in December coming up, there's a 10-day that has 2 spots left. It leaves on December 12th, and it gets in right before Christmas there. So 10-day trip leaving on the 12th of December, and I would imagine a guy would probably want to do it if he can swing it.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding,
cool,
man.
Jeff.
Well, independentsportfishing.com. Give Judy a call in the office. And, Jeff, when are you going to be home?
You know, we're going to be home Tuesday morning, and the guys better get their knives sharp.
Roger.
Fisherman's Crossing
All
can be busy.
right, Captain Jeff DuBois, follow up with an amazing day on Wahoo there on the Independence. Appreciate the call, Jeff. We'll look forward to seeing you back in San Diego.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great morning.
All right, you too. Appreciate that very much. Wow, that's good fishing, huh?
I'm taking me back to the year. I remember it was either 1990. I think it was 1991 that we had just unbelievable. It was an El Nino year. Unbelievable fishing, unbelievable on tuna all around down those islands. Lower banks were on fire, and the wahoo fishing on both the lower banks as well as along the ridge was. It was as good as you could possibly imagine, and that was in December, late January. And, you know, coincidentally, we used to run this trip. We called it the Wahoo Special. It was in December every year, and we had a succession of years. It was late 80s, early 90s, where those wahoo moved in just like flies on those lower banks. And by the lower banks, I mean down below Mag Bay, between Mag Bay and Cabo, just they looked like schools of tuna, you know. We'd go roll along on the sonar there, and you hit this school thinking it was tuna, and just be missiles flying out of the water everywhere. I mean, we had huge scores on wahoo, huge.
Gotta love it.
Like fill wells full of straight wahoo.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that what we're seeing right now, again, is not without precedent. I could easily see this warmer water. You know, there was all this wahoo. What seems to me like what's happening right now. You know, all this wahoo that pushed way north, and there's wahoo everywhere, man. Guys are catching wahoo off Newport, at the same time.
It's a wahoo cycle.
Yeah, we're catching them, offshore. We're catching them at Bonitas. They're catching them on the ridge. They're catching them at, well, now that because the warmer water's receding, that wahoo is starting to compress. It's condensing back down to its more, I guess standard range, if you will, at this time on the ridge, on those lower banks, around Alejos. You're seeing that fish push back down there and squeeze into that little box. So. You know what that means?
You should go drive to them and get them.
Exactly right.
Yeah. You're going to be doing a little driving when you after a week from tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Going down there, checking that zone out?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
That's the beauty of, that trip, too. Remember last year we redesigned it because, we try to stay ahead of things if such a thing is possible in fishing. We try to stay ahead of the curve, and by going from a 12-day to a 12-15, that really expands our options in that we have, you got the option of, again, Alejos on the way down. Maybe you go down, you fish the buffer zone, Hurricane Bank, whatever, and then you're going to the Cape anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, why not look at the lower banks?
Make a little tour.
Yeah, make a little drive-by, swing up, fish lower banks
trip.
on the way in, fishing all the way up to your last day.
And you have some pretty good anglers on there. Gary Big Fish Sato.
That's what
Kevin Leone. Stas Villanakis. I mean, man.
I heard there's a couple guys who've went on a line before. Even Rick, he gets lucky.
Rock Rick.
Yeah, he gets lucky.
And
a lot.
Neil. He's lucky over here.
Yeah, exactly. Old Lucky.
Yeah. Old Neil is the man, right? That's the guy right there. Hey, it's not only biting long range, it's biting right here in our own backyard. Mike from the Tribute's on the line. Tell us about it, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, good morning, gang. Good morning, Tim. It is. They're already catching fish here this morning. A little over 20 yellowfin on board, up to 35 pounds. Sounds like it's, typical weekend in November where you have really nice weather. It sounds like the private boat traffic's definitely up. but they're biting. And if you look at some of the pictures from yesterday, I know Ryan on the San Diego just had a phenomenal day. 225 yellowfin. We ended up with a little over 50 yellowfin, a little bit of other stuff to go with it, but they're beautiful graded fish, and we're going again tonight.
You're going tonight. It's on.
Yeah, tonight so far there's only about a dozen passengers on it. Weather tomorrow looks outstanding, and like I said, good chance to get on the water here before that little front moves through. It looks like Tuesday is still possible. Wednesday, Thursday looks like there's a little bit of funky weather. Good time to stay at home with the family anyway.
Yeah, no question about it. So if somebody wants to ride the Tribute tonight, what's the deal?
Seaforthlanding.com. You can go to tributesportfishing.com or call the landing directly at 619-224-3383.
And what time are you leaving?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock tonight.
Plenty of time to get off work or whatever you might be doing. Full day of football. We do have DirecTV on the boat, so you're not going to miss out on anything.
Yeah, you go.
Get down there, hop on the boat, even watch some Monday Night Football tomorrow afternoon.
There you go.
All
right, Captain Mike Pritchard from the Tribute going tonight. Thanks a lot for the call. Good luck.
You guys have a great day.
All right,
you
Mike.
too.
All right.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. They are packed up. Let's talk to Doug, calling us from Montebello this morning. Good morning, Doug. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yeah, on the way down on these 15-day trips, do you guys troll?
You know, you can pretty much wet a line anytime you want. You can hang it off the back of the boat and drag a jig. I wouldn't say that, we're cutting back and forth trying to troll up water edges or temp breaks, and we're pretty much in transit. But, as long as we're going through that water,
if
why
somebody
not?
yells hookup, you're going to stop the boat.
I guess.
Or at least slow it down.
Yeah. Or, we've had, I'm laughing because a couple, 3 times now, including during the last trip, we looked back there and somebody's reel was empty.
Somebody was asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, they got to BS it and having fun. Whenever you look back there,
wheel's empty.
Forgot to put the clicker on.
Yeah. Oops.
All the lines gone.
So, yes, it can happen. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Perfect time to troll up a dinner time wahoo or something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
Sounds
like
what Jeff was saying.
This one's going to the galley.
Game on.
That's cool. Hey, let's jump right back into them. Talking to Harvey, calling from Simi Valley. What's up, Harvey? Welcome to the show.
Yes, good morning. First of all, Tim, I would love to thank you for all the wonderful reports that you post. Reading them, it sounds like I'm listening to a college professor. Your reports are phenomenal. I do have 2 questions. First of all, the 10-day trips that have been fishing recently, have they been fishing in Cowtown area?
You mean the ones on Royal Star or just in general?
In general.
There have been a number of trips guys have been making down there around Lusitania Bank, Potato Bank, out to the west, Toussaint Bank, and also, I don't know if the last round they made it below that, but I know there has been fish down there. There's actually been pretty darn good sign. It's been on and off. You see the fish every day, but it's just a matter of whether they bite or not, which is not uncommon for down there. But, yeah, guys have been putting in their time down there, and there's been pretty good production. And where you see, on the 10-day trips, there's been some reports of really big fish, 250 and up, and all of those were landed down in the, I guess, the Cowtown zone, if you will, anywhere, what we call
lower bank.
The lower banks or local banks, between Mag Bay and Cabo San Lucas.
So now where was Jeff talking about where he had that wahoo hit? Is that kind of central lower bank, northern lower banks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that area there.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a big area.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But
yes, it is.
accessible in a 10-day trip.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How about an 8-day trip?
You'd probably be at the end of your string on an 8-day trip.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Roger. All right. Very good. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about we jump back into them, talk to Bruce. Bruce is calling us from Lemon Grove this morning. Hi, Bruce. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, what I was interested in getting your opinion on, Tim, was that these local, the bite-sized tuna have been out there for a while. We've been picking away at them. We've got a feeling that they could become homebodies. What do you think about that?
I think it's going to depend a lot on water conditions. If the water doesn't get cold this year, if this El Nino persists in the water temps stay in the range of, say, 66 and above, I think there's a very good chance they're going to hang out. They're not going to go anywhere. Why? As long as the groceries are here. Yeah, and that's the big if. I guess if you believe in the projections that there's going to be some real storms this year and mix everything up, that raises the question whether the water temp is going to stay elevated. But if it does, why not?
We've always said that the fish doesn't have a calendar. November and December doesn't mean anything to them. They know water temperature and they know food.
That's it.
And if those two things are steady and ample, then there's no reason for them to go anywhere.
Yeah, a good example would be those bluefin last year. They never left. The ones that provided all those incredible opportunities, those big ones that were here in May and June and July. Those were holdovers, man. They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, jumping back in, Dan Encinitas. Hi, you're welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Dan.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for joining.
First, I want to say I went into Fisherman's a couple of days ago and had some questions, and top-notch service. Answered all my questions tip-top, so thanks for all that.
Oh, that's awesome, Dan. Nice of you to say. Thank you.
Next is passports. I finally pulled the trigger. Super easy. Went in there. Driver's license, birth certificate. Just go to the post office, get that passport form, and
away you
two
go.
pictures from Kinko's. Good to go. Got out of there. Did it on Friday. Going to pick it up on Tuesday.
Perfect.
How nice is that? Yeah.
I guess that was back when they were fishing. Now they're fishing offshore, so I don't really need it now. But that was my next comment. And then third, Guadalupe, since it is like a structure, island type structure, do you need that passport to fish that 13-mile?
Well, if you're going to go through Ensenada, you absolutely need it. You need a passport anytime you're entering Mexican waters now. You either have to have a passport or a passport card. Every angler, no matter what, any trip, you're required to carry a passport.
Even offshore.
I guess if you're outside of if you're outside 20 miles, you don't need the visa, but you should have a passport. If you are entering Mexican waters, you should have a passport. Yeah. It's just good practice, and it's not inconsistent with international standards, man.
You're in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Period.
Get a passport card. It's easy. I think you mentioned the post office. The other one, the office of the clerk. Down there at the San Diego Administration Building, I don't know what it is up in L.A. Orange County, but they're so easy to get, man. Yeah. Walk in, fill out the form. I know at the office of the clerk in San Diego, they got everything right there. You take your picture, the whole 9 yards, and you're done.
I've talked to so many people, Dan, that say the exact same thing that you do. Man, it's a pain in the butt. I don't want to. And then as soon as you get it, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't go do that a month ago. Like, if it costs you one rad trip, if the yellowtail are biting wide open at the islands, and your buddies are all going, and you're asked out. You don't have a passport, you don't get to go. I mean, just that one is not worth the hour out of your day that it's going to take to wrap up getting your passport.
And it's good for 10 years, and then it's easy to renew.
Yeah, 10 years.
And that card too, that's such a good thing to have. Like, that's what I do. I've
got it in your wallet.
I've got a passport that sits, on my nightstand at the house. That's always there. But I have a passport card that's in my wallet all the time. When we go fishing on the boat, I don't have to remember about bringing it. I've always got it with me. It's next to my Mexican fishing license. You've always got it with you, and it's good anytime you're on the water.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Hey, with that, it's time to find out what's going on the water. We got the man, Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide, is standing by right now. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, Dave?
Good morning, you guys. Good morning. I'm trying to be quick here. They're biting. I'm on the cell phone. We're off of La Jolla. Big pot of dolphin. We got 3 fish on the boat for me and my boss right now. And we had a nice little ripper this morning, but we screwed it all up. But they're still biting here.
Unbelievable. Awesome. And you're in cell phone range off La Jolla.
Yeah, I'm 6.5 miles off the beach.
Unbelievable.
That's so cool.
Unbelievable.
Yes, indeed. Guys, it's been one heck of a week. I know I heard Brian talk about it a little bit this morning out of Dana Point, but I started off the week with a client. We went up to Catalina on Wednesday after a blue 60 up there. We went up there Wednesday morning. It was a rough ride, but we went up there and went 1 for 3 on the Marlin in 61-degree water. Then we left. Then the next day I went out with Todd on the boardroom, and we caught yellowfin tuna 20 miles out of Dana Point. We had 6 guys, one of the charters on my boat, but we're putting a new generator on there, so we took it on Todd's. And we got two around on the yellowfin on the boardroom. And here I am right now catching yellowfin right out in front of La Jolla. So if you guys think it's over, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been listening to Tim all morning. Sounds like he's got the same kind of passion I got. My dad told me he did, but until I listened to him.
He does have that passion. There's no question. And the passion is related on fishdope.com. I know you give all the information to the guys at Fishdope. It's been on there. If you read Fishdope, you knew exactly where to go and what to do and how to play it with this yellowfin tuna, thanks to Dave and other guys that have been on the spot. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com by using the code Hookup now. It's lowercase, it's no space. And Dave, if we want to go fishing with you, catch some tuna, how do we do that?
Look me up on the web at yoursaltwaterguide.com or 949-374-0786. I'm just getting in front of this spotted dolphin. I got to go.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate
so
the call.
cool that is
awesome.
Going on right now, man.
5-6 miles off of La Jolla. Man.
It's going to be December in a week, and we're talking about, board shorts and T-shirts catching yellowfin tuna. It's awesome. Life is good. Yeah. Hey, again, that catch report was sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. It is long-range season. We've been talking about it for a while. It's time to pre-book your processing order with Fisherman's Processing before your trip. It's so easy to do. I mean, I know that so many of us right now are listening to the radio. We know we got a long-range trip coming up this long-range season. All you have to do is call Sean, call Rosie, call anybody at Fisherman's Processing. They are the most accommodating people in the business. Let them know, hey, I'm going on a trip. Maybe you want to make arrangements to have your fish shipped, or you want to make arrangements for your smoke or your jerky, whatever it is. When you get that reservation in, you'll be sure that you're the first in line when your trip returns back to the landing. For more information, you can friend them on Facebook or check fishermansprocessing.com for more details.
And you take it to the next level when you ride the Royal Polaris or the Royal Star with Fisherman's Processing. You don't have to touch your fish. It's basically you guys unload and give your order to Tim or Randy or Brian on the boat, and you pick up your nice packages in a few hours.
It's
or in an hour.
It's actually we're to the stage in the process that I know we talked about this before. It's that I envisioned many years ago. I always wanted to provide a platform for anglers to not have to participate in the unloading process if they chose to. Exactly. I always wanted to get the fish off the concrete up there, and it was just my own personal, pet peeve, if you will. But I wanted to provide anglers the opportunity to avoid that if they wanted to. Now, if you want to go for the traditional unloading, you want to lay your fish out in a line, take photos of them, you can do that. That's an option. But for those anglers who have done it enough, they've I guess evolved past the end of the trip, dragging their fish around. It's the perfect platform. We take your orders in advance on the boat when we're traveling up the line, usually the day before we get in. And those orders, we've upped the ante. We transmit those electronically to Sean and Rosie back at the shop. And it's all done, arranged when the boat arrives. An angler is picking his fish up, later in the day. They want to have it shipped, whatever. They unload their gear into a cart, wheel up to their cars, and drive away.
Yeah. It's
15 minutes after the boat gets in, you're on the road, man.
And here's the other thing, too. Sometimes on a long trip, you forget how many you put down there, but you keep track of all that.
Absolutely.
You know exactly what's down there. There's no, I think I have 2 or 3 this and 1 of that, and you know exactly what's in there. Here's what you got. What do you want to do with it? You have a buddy come in to pick one up? You can do that. It's all part of the process. That's
a good thing to do. I do that a lot of times now. That's something people don't know. I've got this buddy, Dad's buddy from work's coming down, whatever. You can send a fish to Fisherman's Processing under their name to their specifications. They pay for it. They pick it up. Maybe I want all mine in 1-pound pieces, but they want theirs in 3-pound roasts, or they want all smoke or jerky. I mean, it's just such a cool process. That's the thing I can't stress enough is they are so accommodating at Fisherman's Processing. They just figure out the best way to take care of you, and they do it. That's just,
why go anywhere else?
It's the very best.
There's a couple things I want to say about that. Number one, that has become. And remember, Sean originally he started that program. They called it Fish for a Friend, and that has become so common now, prevalent, where one angler will come in and, say they have 400 or 500 pounds of fish, and they'll fill out 3 or 4 different order forms. They already pre-fill out the form for their friend. One 80-pound tuna goes to, Joe. 1 100-pound tuna goes to Fred, whatever. And it's their order. It's their friend. They're providing
responsibility.
The fish.
They pick it up.
Exactly. And although we all know life isn't all about the money, but it adds up. It used to be an angler would go out there, you catch 500 pounds of fish, you come back, you got a $400 processing bill, then you're going around town doling it out, going, geez, I paid $400 for this. Hey, and you can't sell the fish, you can't be compensated for it. That's not the idea. The idea is you want to share, but we're all generous to a point, or it gets kind of ridiculous if being generous costs you a bunch of money. So it's a great opportunity to share that fish because you're still doing it. I mean, you're sharing.
And your friend will be stoked.
Oh,
absolutely. Whenever a family comes down, they pick up a couple 100 pounds of fish, and where the heck can you get that kind of product, that kind of fish?
Saying.
It's a smoking deal. It's a win-win-win. Everybody wins. It's a phenomenal program. Then the other thing, guys, we're talking about how we keep track of the individual fish. That was a system that was implemented by Randy. We're going on at least 10 years now, 12 years that we've done that. And there's been so many benefits to that. Number one, we strictly adhere to Mexican limits, and we do so by keeping track. So, we're completely above board. We're not looking at it as a boat limit where we don't know what the heck everybody's got. Right. But an even better benefit to that is that everybody, you see them constantly. They go back and they reference that board that we keep back there in the bait tank, and everybody knows exactly what they have in the hole, in the hatches as the trip progresses. And we have seen an incredible reduction in the overall amount of fish that anglers are taking. You think, wow, why is that a good thing? Well, it's a good thing because why the hell would you want to keep the fish if you don't need it?
Yeah.
You really aren't going to
see. I have 5 or 6 on the board. I got enough yellowfin tuna. Let it go.
Yeah, and we see that
we'll catch
a
it
lot.
Another day.
We see that a lot. In the case of we're out there at the island, for example, this last trip, and the fish were big, man. They're 100 pounds. They're nice ones, and there were a number of anglers. They get 5, they get 6, and they're good.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's
let
enough.
Go.
That's
I'll
enough of those. Yeah, they catch them, they let them go, or they just take a break. They enjoy the show. Watch everybody go out, or they drop down on the bottom. They try to get a yellowtail instead of tuna. Oh. And overall, it has reduced the overall take, but it hasn't. I mean, it's had a positive impact on the results of the trip. Nobody winds up at the end of the trip going, oh my God, what the heck do I do with all this? I can't believe this. I don't remember catching that many. There's 1,000 pounds of fish laying on the sidewalk. They don't know what the heck to do with. Now, everybody has the opportunity to keep track as the trip progresses, and they only take what they need.
You bet.
Win-win-win.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the mighty 1090.
Come join fly fishing superstar Conway Bowman for 2 very special and very limited Fishin' Mission Fly Fishing Edition at Fast Lane Kayaks in Mission Bay. This is your chance to get on the water instruction from Conway on a new Hobie Pro Angler 14. Even if you have never touched a fly rod, this is a great opportunity to learn from one of the best. 2 sessions, Saturday, November 21st and Saturday, December 12th, each limited to just 10 anglers. So call Fast Lane now to reserve your spot. 619-222-0766. When it comes to Hobie kayaks, no one does it better than Fast Lane Kayaks at Dana Landing, across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. Check FastLaneSailing.com.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details. Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore. At Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, kids fish free every Sunday. Free half-day fishing trip and clinic free for kids 12 and under every Sunday at Dana Wharf. Join the Dana Wharf Kids Club and get over $100 of really cool stuff like 2 free fishing trips, a free whale watch trip, and more. Dana Wharf, everyone's favorite since 1971. Click DanaWharf.com or visit them in the Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County. DanaWharf.com, where kids fish free.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on Earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the two best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
You know, the ranch is unique. It's one of the few places in the world where you can still drive ATVs up the beach. We have fishing from the beach. We have dive trips that we run to Pomo in a number of different spots. Kayaking, of course, has been real big. We were one of the first hotels to introduce kayaking. The ranch is small, you know, it's intimate, it's 34 rooms, so everyone gets to know everyone. The old saying, where everyone knows your name. Well, truly at Rancho Leonero, the employees do know pretty darn near all our guests' names. And what's even more interesting is most of the guests know each other's names. Very personal, very intimate, and a special, special environment. 2 miles of beachfront, a mile on either side of the hotel. Rancho Leonero is really the last of the old-style Baja fishing resorts. 1-800-646-2252. 1-800-646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Okay, you just got a call from Marcos at C4 Sport Fishing, and there's a little bit going on the half-day there,
How cool
right?
is that? Just heard from Marcos during the break. The Sea-Watch, who's running half-day trips out of Seaforth right now while the new Seaforth's doing their maintenance. Sea-Watch is on a regular half-day, nothing extended, nothing special trip.
6:30 a.m. to 12:30
Coming back at 11,
p.m.
yeah. They've got 20 yellowfin on board right now. The boat is in a full stop. He said half the boat's got one hanging, but they've got 20 on board right now. As you could imagine, half-day trip, 15, 20-pound yellowfin. He said the casualties have been very high. But, yeah, as of right now, 20 yellowfin on board, half the boat bent on a half-day trip, dude.
Unbelievable.
So cool.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Right? I'll take it, man.
Indeed. All right, let's jump into the phone.
You got it, man. Well, the phones are packed up. First one, we're going to jump right back into Mike in San Carlos. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, that last guy kind of took one of my questions. I was going to ask how far away are the yellowfin? So it's half day, 3/4 day, or 1 day?
Well, you heard
any of them.
Yes,
Mike,
and yes.
Exactly. 5 miles off of La Jolla, right there.
Okay, and so did Tim. Yeah, I've been on his boat once, and it was great, 10-day. It was like in 2006 when everybody was catching big fish. But my real question is, not real, but rod. Like, can you underfish a rated rod, meaning if it says like 30 to 60, and they're those little yellowfin, they're like, 8, 9, 10 pounds, or do you have to have a special rod for each size?
Rod selection. Do you go by the numbers of the rating on the rod?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on what your objective is. I mean, if you just want to you're talking about those 8-pound yellowfin or 8 to 15-pound yellowfin. If you just want to wind them in with a club, I mean, it doesn't really matter, especially if they're biting. But it just depends on how you want to fight the fish, how much sport you want to get out of it. I know if I was fishing, say I was going out on the half day, although I guess there are some bigger size fish, but if the size of the fish drops, what's available, say it goes into that, 8, 10, 12, 15-pound class, I want to drop my rod size, my line size, my reel size, just to have some fun with it. What the heck?
25 pounds.
Exactly.
The other thing that plays into this game, especially right now, is this is all anchovy fishing.
Right.
And it's a different game with anchovies and your rod selection, right?
Big time. That really plays into it.
Yeah.
I know Ricky has a much better handle on the blanks. I love those the 700s, the CalStar 700s.
Our Graphiter 700.
Yeah, the Graphiter 700 with a the Trinidad 14. Oh my gosh, was it Chove? 15, 20-pound fluorocarbon, sling it off the bow.
There's a reel that's become like a laughable thing around the landing, and it's Duke's Trinidad 14. If you wanna, Tim's son. If there was ever a reel that is deserving of praise, or maybe if somebody gives you a hard time, you talk about that reel all the time. Check this thing out. I mean, it is not appropriately taken care of. It's not appropriately anything, and it just lasts, and that thing has caught, Tim will tell you the story better than anybody else, hundreds of fish.
Well, wait a minute, we wash it off when we're down here. Yeah, we wash it off. I actually have to bring it into you. It's finally, it's got to be something with the bearings, but this is true. We got that reel in, let's see, I know Duke I think he was either 6 or 7 at the time. He's 11 now, so it was either 4 or 5 years ago, and I know there's a picture. It was with my son and I at Guadalupe with a 92-pound yellowfin tuna, which was caught on that reel. Jeez. We have not cleaned it on the inside.
Yeah, right.
We washed it out.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But we have not serviced that reel in any way, shape, or form since then. And it has literally caught hundreds. We kept it. The guys like that rod so much and that combo, the rod and reel setup, that we kept it on the boat as just a boat rod, even when Duke wasn't out with us for a couple of seasons. That reel, I kid you not, has caught hundreds of tuna, yellowtail. I think you've even got a few albacore on it. I mean,
and now it finally needs a little service.
It needs some service now.
Okay, there you
go. But it's an incredible, and across the range too. Not just small fish. I mean, anything from that fish that was 92 some odd pounds all the way down to and anything and everything in between. Those reels are incredible. The durability, but the usability of that reel. I mean.
It's the best anchovy reel in the market.
It absolutely is. Just everything about that thing is just phenomenal.
Let's jump back on the phone.
You got it, man. How about this time we talk to Sam? He's calling us from Irvine this morning. Hi, Sam. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. Happy November. Hey, my question is on the schedule this year. I'm looking to maybe do a 5-day, but I'd like to go to Guadalupe Island. On your schedule, will you identify where your trips are going? Like if I wanted to go to Guadalupe Island, could I call down there, or will you post on your schedule if you'll be doing a Guadalupe Island trip?
Well, that is that's the $1 million question, because being fishing, you really never know, and I'm very hesitant to lock myself into something as a fisherman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I can't. Let's say, for example, I'd say, okay, this trip is going to go to Guadalupe. It's a 5-day trip, and I put it on the schedule. And then, a number of anglers book on there with the expectation of going to Guadalupe. And then,
something changes.
9 months later, that 5-day comes up, and the fishing is terrible. It's green water and horrible at Guadalupe, and there's incredible fishing on bluefin tuna and albacore, 50 miles west of San Diego.
Sure.
Am I going to go to Guadalupe just because it says it is? No, absolutely not. We're going to go out and fish where the fish are. So I'm real hesitant to announce ahead of time that a trip is going to go out there. We could probably narrow it down within a few weeks in advance, but I hate to give you the I don't know answer, but as a fisherman, I have to have that flexibility to adjust and make a lateral move anytime, anyhow, anywhere.
So let's say Sam wants to book a trip that has a high likelihood that if things are aligned and everything is good, is going to go to Guadalupe. What time of the year, what length of trip should he book? Because let's face it, if you don't book on the Royal Star now for next summer and fall, you're not going to get a spot.
Yeah, and don't drive everybody away, darn. I gotta say that ahead of time.
Yeah.
There's this mystique out there that Royal Star is always full, and I think it dissuades.
Open up.
I think it dissuades some anglers from calling.
But I'm trying to say, you want to lock it in, you better do it.
I would say so, and really one of those anything from 5 to 7 days from the end of July all the way through October. Okay. That is prime time. Those have been the traditional times. August, September, October are the traditional months from Guadalupe. Obviously, this year the anomaly. Everything is.
Yes.
But if you go by history and take a 20-year average, August, September, October, those are prime times for that island out there. So I think an angler can make a reasonable assumption that if a trip is on our schedule that time frame, a 7-day, for example, that trip, if the opportunity is there, the stars are aligned right that's going to be part of our itinerary.
Sam, I got the schedule open right now, and there's 2 7 days in August that still have room on them. There's four trips during that month. 2 of them are already full, but there's 2 that do have spots on them. I would have to think that, again, if the conditions are right, that would be the perfect trip for it. Perfect
Absolutely.
length, perfect time, perfect everything. And right now, half of the trips that month are full, but there are 2. One's got 6 spots, and one's got even more than that. So there's 2 opportunities in August. But
that's it. We're in November,
that's what I'm saying.
And you're talking about
next August,
like 9 months away.
Yeah.
So
not to say that things don't happen on wait lists too. I've seen, just from working in the tackle store, I've seen guys that have come through that are so bummed out because they wanted to go on X trip or Y trip, and I swear Tracy is a miracle worker. Like, I can't tell you how many times guys have come in saying, I'm so bummed. All I wanted to do was go on whatever, a fall 10-day this year, and everything's sold out. And then a week later, the guy comes back. I need more fluorocarbon, man. Tracy made it happen. I'm going. So
it happens all the time.
I see it always.
That's why I know that
but don't count on it. I'm saying if you really want to lock it in, lock it in.
Oh,
now.
yeah, you don't want to wait. I mean, if you want to go and there's availability right now, if you sit on it, you're going to be you're going to be on a wait list somewhere if you still want to go. So the best thing to do certainly is call and get your reservation or book it online. We have an online booking right now.
Right. Great new website.
Yeah, get something in there and lock it down with a deposit because, that's the way business is done nowadays. If you're serious about it, you're going to put a deposit in. So, lock it up now. But if even if one of those trips on the schedule, if it says full, give Tracy a call anyway because she's the miracle worker, man. I can't tell you how many times we've accommodated anglers who, they feel like it ain't going to happen, and it does.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about next up? We talked to Tom, calling us from San Diego this morning. Good morning, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning,
well, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, I was thinking about taking a 3/4 day. Maybe now I'll just go to a half.
Go on the 3/4 anyway.
Quit thinking about it. Just
go on both.
Oh, I am. I've been a few other places, but got to get back here. I thought it was over until I'm hearing about this latest yellowfin hit. This is amazing. I did have a question for the captain. When you do get on a school of yellowfin and you want to try to get a little bit bigger one, maybe get down below, what are some of your suggestions for jigging or techniques to try and, let's say you pulled one in that's 15, 20 pounds, you say, hey, now maybe I want to try to get a bigger one?
I think you just said it. I think going down below is not a bad idea. You try a sinker rig or try that jig downwind, one of those flat fall jigs.
The Shimano flat fall.
Or the Colt Sniper, one of those two. And man, those things were so consistent this year. Crazy is what I would say. And also the percentage of fish that were bigger that were landed on those, especially those, on either one, but especially those, the flat fall jigs.
Yeah.
Those things had an uncanny knack for producing, the 140-pounder or the 130-pounder. That's the best advice I could give you.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Just about 30 seconds left for Kenny in Hawaiian Garden. What's up, Kenny?
Hey, morning, guys. Had a nice, relaxing day yesterday at one of our local parks. Did a fishing in the city event for the kids and stuff. Good fishing off the hook. 3 to 5 pound catfish, no trout biting, too warm.
Wow, nice.
But yeah, it was really fun.
That's great.
That's cool, Kenny.
Yeah, and this was a derby to take kids fishing.
Yeah, it was over here at El Dorado Park in Long Beach.
Very nice.
A lot of kids showed up.
That's awesome,
Very
Kenny.
Nice. That's cool. Hey, thanks a lot for the report. Appreciate the call this morning.
When we come back, we're going to find out what lucky guy's got himself that full AFTCO belt and harness setup. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the mighty 1090.
Happy holidays from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. This is Doug Kern. Be sure to get that saltwater angler on your list what they really want. A gift from Fisherman's Landing Tackle and Shimano. We have the best Shimano has to offer, including Talica, Trinidad A, Therese, Stella, Saragossa, Tranks, Terramar, Waxwing, Colt Sniper, Butterfly, Torium, Tiagra, and too much more from Shimano to mention. Bottom line, we have the most complete selection of Shimano saltwater tackle and the knowledge to help you pick out the perfect gift. Check out our web specials and much more at saltwatertackle.com or come by and see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin to overnight trips or a long-range adventure, you can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
Pete here to tell you about one of my favorite long-range boats, perfect for day-and-a-half to 7-day trips. That's Searcher Sport Fishing. The Searcher offers a top-of-the-line long-range experience at the best value available. The 95-foot Searcher features huge bait capacity, RSW fish holds, and plenty of room at the rail. Chef Charles puts out a spread you will be impressed with, and staterooms are air-conditioned and super comfortable. The crew, top of the line. Check SearcherSportFishing.com for more details and book online today. That's SearcherSportFishing.com.
Hey, this is Captain Paul Hebert from the Wicked Pisser. My brother Bruce and I make a living catching giant bluefin tuna. In fact, I wouldn't even go fishing with any other sunglasses than Maui Jim. Put a pair of Maui Jims on and instantly the glare is gone, the UV that can damage your eyes is gone, the ocean's true colors come shining through like never before. And with more contrast and clarity, you can see the bluefin at that critical time. Take it from me. Try a pair at your local tackle shop or check out MauiJim.com. You won't believe your eyes.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here.
Inside the pylon for a touchdown.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Right, the big winner of the AFTCO Max Force belt and that great AFTCO Socorro belt and the Max Force harness. Ultimate long-range setup going to Mike in San Carlos. Congratulations, Mike. You are going to love that gear
Better
from AFTCO.
book a trip on the Royal Star and go use that belt, Mike.
No doubt.
Congratulations to that. And, Tim, always a pleasure having you on the show, man. There's so much stuff. And we talked briefly about this new website, but tell us about kind of how we navigate through that.
Well, oh my gosh, you're really putting me on the spot. I think that fortunately it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's easy to navigate, and if you have any kind of internet savvy whatsoever, it's pretty easy to negotiate.
Book right there.
Absolutely.
Check on what's available. The
whole
schedules, the whole thing.
Yeah, and
right
thanks to Chad Woods who set it up. You know, and we stepped into the 21st century basically as far as what we have to offer in the way of a website, online booking. It was long overdue, so I'm really stoked about that. It's streamlined our whole admin process.
I can imagine.
I can't tell you guys how appreciative I am of the opportunity to come here on the show. I love this. This is like
great.
the fastest 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, it goes quick.
It does. And you know, speaking to the caller earlier was talking about our passion for fishing, my passion for fishing. You know, I think you guys are the same way. This isn't how we make a living. This is our life.
Yes.
I mean, fishing is our
It's
life.
our life.
And
yeah.
we do it. I can remember from the time I was the tiny kid, I wanted to go fishing because I loved fishing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember starting to work on the Pacific Queen with Eddie McEwen, and I didn't even care if I got paid.
Yeah.
I would have done it for free. I did do it for free.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
going out as a pinhead. I mean, this is just it's something that is it certainly transcends business or anything else. We do this because we love it with true passion.
No question about it. Well, great to have you. You're an awesome guest, and you're awesome for the sport fishing industry in itself. You know, in a big way, you've been instrumental in helping with get us inroads in the Mexico fishery, along with Ken Frankie and the Sport Fishing Association, the whole deal. And thank you for all your efforts of what you do for all of our passion. We much appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I want to see more than anything is all of us have the opportunity to
Yeah.
continue this incredible journey all the way, well past my lifetime. So
You betcha. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. If you want to book on Royal Star, call Tracy 619-224-4764 or me or Brian for that matter, and follow along on the website. I can't wait till next time, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, next time will be December the 12th, live from Cabo San
That's
Lucas,
right.
Mexico.
We'll be there.
Right after the 12-day trip on the Royal Star. And next weekend, we'll be back. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I'm jumping on a plane in a couple hours, heading to Ohio But in the meantime, I'll be back next Friday, and then on the show Saturday with Dr. Chugi Sepulveda from the Flagler Institute of Environmental Research. It's going to be a great show with Chugi. And then next Sunday, our good buddy, Mr. John Ireland from Rancho Leonero and Baja's East Cape. Thanks for listening. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week right back here on the Mighty 1090.